Namaste, Dandava Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 3, the Status Quo, Chapter 9, Text 14. Shasvat Svarupa Maheshaiva Nipita Bedha Mohaya Bodha Dishanaya Nama Parasmai Vishvo Bhavastiti Layeshu Nimita Lila Rasyate Nama Idam Chakrameshvaraya. Let me offer my obeisances unto the supreme transcendence, who is eternally distinguished by his internal potency. His indistinguishable impersonal feature is realized by intelligence for self-realization. I offer my obeisances unto him who is, by his pastimes, enjoying the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. Purport. The Supreme Lord is eternally distinguished from the living entities by his internal potency, although he is also understood in his impersonal feature by self-realized intelligence. Devotees of the Lord, therefore, offer all respectful obeisances unto the impersonal feature of the Lord. The word rasa is significant herein. The rasa dance is performed by Lord Krishna in the company of the cowherd damsels at Vrindavan, and the personality of Godhead, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, is also engaged in rasa, enjoyment, with his external potency, by which he creates, maintains, and dissolves the entire material manifestation. Indirectly, Lord Brahma offers his respectful obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, who is factually ever engaged in rasa, enjoyment, with the gopis, as confirmed in Gopala Tapani Upanishad, in the following words. Arardante so bhujyata gopa vesho me purusha purastad avir babuva. The distinction between the Lord and the living entity is definitely experienced when there is sufficient intelligence to understand his internal potency, as distinguished from the external potency by which he makes possible the material manifestation. Text 15. Yasyavatara guna karma vidambanani namani yesu vigame vivasa granati tenaika janma samalam saha shaiva hitva samyantya pavritam tam ajam prapadye. Let me take shelter of the lotus feet of him whose incarnations, qualities, and activities are mysterious imitations of worldly affairs. One who invokes his transcendental names even unconsciously at the time he quits this life is certainly washed immediately of the sins of many, many births and attains him without fail. Dandava Pranam Umadevi. Purport. The activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are a kind of imitation of the activities going on in the material world. He is just like an actor on a stage. An actor imitates the activities of a king on stage, although actually he is not the king. Similarly, when the Lord incarnates, he imitates parts with which he has nothing to do. In Bhagavad Gita 4.14, it is said that the Lord has nothing to do with the activities in which he is supposedly engaged. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phalesvara. The Lord is omnipotent. Simply by his will, he can perform anything and everything. When the Lord appeared as Lord Krishna, he played the part of the son of Yashoda and Nanda, and he lifted Govardhan Hill, although lifting a hill is not his concern. He can lift millions of Govardhan Hills by his simple desire. He does not need to lift it with his hand, but he imitates the ordinary living entity by this lifting. At the same time, he exhibits his supernatural power. Thus, his name is chanted as the lifter of Govardhan Hill, Sri Govardhan Dari. Therefore, his acts in his incarnations and his partiality to the devotees are all imitations only, just like the stage makeup of an expert dramatical player. His acts in that capacity, however, are all omnipotent, and the remembrance of such activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is as powerful as the Lord himself. Ajamila remembered the holy name of the Lord, Narayan, by merely calling the name of his son, Narayan. And that gave him a complete opportunity to achieve the highest perfection of life. 16. Yovaham cha girishas cha vibhu svayam cha stityud bhava pralaya hetavatma mulam vitva tripad bhavradha eka uru prarohas tasmai namo bhagavate bhuvanadrumaya. Your lordship is the prime root of the tree of the planetary systems. This tree has grown by first penetrating the material nature in three trunks, as me, Shiva, and you, the Almighty, for creation, maintenance, and dissolution. And we three have grown with many branches. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you, the tree of the cosmic manifestation. Purport. The cosmic manifestation is grossly divided into three worlds, the upper, lower, and middle planetary systems. And then it broadens into the cosmos of 14 planetary systems with the manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme root. Material nature, which appears to be the cause of the cosmic manifestation, is only the agency or the energy of the Lord. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Maya jakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Only under the superintendence of the Supreme Lord does material nature appear to be the cause of all creation, maintenance, and dissolution. The Lord expands himself into three, Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, for maintenance, creation, and destruction, respectively. Of the three principal agents controlling the three modes of material nature, Vishnu is the Almighty. Even though he is within the material nature for the purpose of maintenance, he is not controlled by the laws of material nature. The other two, Brahma and Shiva, although almost as greatly powerful as Vishnu, are within the control of the material energy of the Supreme Lord. The conception of many gods controlling the many departments of material nature is ill-conceived of the foolish pantheists. God is one without a second, and he is the primal cause of all causes. As there are many departmental heads of government affairs, so there are many heads of management of the universal affairs. Due to a poor fund of knowledge, the impersonalist does not believe in the personal management of things as they are, but in this verse it is clearly explained that everything is personal and nothing is impersonal. We have already discussed this point in the introduction, and it is confirmed here in this verse. The tree of the material manifestation is described in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as an asvatama tree, an asvata tree, whose root is upward. We have actual experience of such tree when we see the shadow of a tree on the bank of a reservoir of water. The reflection of the tree on the water appears to hang down from its upward roots. The tree of creation described here is only a shadow of the reality, which is Brahmā, Vishnu. In the internal potency manifested in the Vaikuntha Lokas, the actual tree exists, and the tree reflected in the material nature is only the shadow of this actual tree. The impersonalist theory that Brahman is void of all variegatedness is false, because the shadow tree described in Bhagavad Gita cannot exist without being the reflection of a real tree. The real tree is situated in the eternal existence of spiritual nature, full of transcendental varieties, and Lord Vishnu is the root of that tree also. The root is the same, the Lord, both for the real tree and the false. But the false tree is only the perverted reflection of the real tree. The Lord, being the real tree, is here offered obeisances by Brahmā on his own behalf and also on behalf of Lord Shiva. Text 17. Loka vikarma nirata kushale pramata karmanyayam tvad udite bhavad archane sve yastavad asya balavan iha jiva atsam sadyas chintayani mishaya namostu tasmai. People in general all engage in foolish acts, not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who is acting as eternal time. Purport. People in general are well engaged in senseless work. They are systematically unmindful of the real beneficial work, which is the devotional service of the Lord, technically called Archana regulations. The Archana regulations are directly instructed by the Lord in the Narada Pancharatra, and are strictly followed by intelligent men who know well that the highest perfectional goal of life is to reach Lord Vishnu, who is the root of the tree called the cosmic manifestation. Also in Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita, such regulative activities are clearly mentioned. Foolish people do not know that their self-interest is in realization of Vishnu. The Bhagavatam 7.5.30 through 32 says, Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova Mito Bipadyata Griha Vratanam Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Puna Punascharvita Charvananam Nate Vidhu Svarta Gatim Hi Vishnum Durashaya Ye Bahir Artamanina Andhaya Tandhar Upaniyamanas Te Pisha Tantrayam Urudam Nibadha Naishammatistavad Uru Kramangrim Sprishatyanartha Pagamo Yadartha Mahiya Sampada Rajo Bishekam Nishkinchananam Navrinitayavat. Persons who are determined to totally rot in false material happiness cannot become Krishna-minded, whether either by instructions from teachers, by self-realization, or by parliamentary discussions. They are dragged in the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Because of their foolish activities, they are unaware that the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve Vishnu, the supreme Lord of the cosmic manifestation. And so their struggle for existence is in the wrong direction of material civilization, which is under the external energy. They are led by similar foolish persons, just as one blind man is led by another blind man, and both fall in the ditch. Such foolish men cannot be attracted towards the activities of the Supreme Powerful, who is actually the neutralizing measure for their foolish activities, unless and until they have the good sense to be guided by the great souls who are completely freed from material attachment. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asks everyone to give up all their occupational duties and absolutely engage in archana activities, or in pleasing the Lord. But almost no one is attracted to such archana activity. Everyone is more or less attracted by activities which are conditions of rebellion against the Supreme Lord. The systems of jnana and yoga are also indirectly rebellious acts against the Lord. There is no auspicious activity except archana of the Lord. Jnana and yoga are sometimes accepted within the purview of archana when the ultimate aim is Vishnu and not otherwise. The conclusion is that only the devotees of the Lord are bona fide human beings eligible for salvation. Others are vainly struggling for existence without any actual benefit. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from text 18 on Friday. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Nishangapali Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Sham Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagi Ki Jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yagi Ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bo, Jai Shrimati Uma Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Jai Gurudev.